Patricia? Patricia!
Okay.
You need to put some swagger in that walk.
The world is full of amazing women who have done remarkable things in their lives.
Voila.
My whole life has been a risk.
I want to meet some of them and hear their best piece of advice.
Nothing great is easy. If you want something easy, then you're not doing something great.
That just one thing that has made them who they are today.
Hello, Baroness.
I would love to hear your just one thing. And that might help me and you become better versions of ourselves.
Yes, I am fancy now, but I don't forget where I came from because I'm gonna give you this attitude back.
Yes, I'm pregnant again.
I'm gonna say what I have to say, you take it or leave it.
I get really emotional about it. I don't want to cry. At 15 years old, I knew I wanted to be successful. I actually did people's hair at school. So that's when I started making money. Today, I'm actually filming with Vogue. I'm Nigerian and I'm Igbo. We're supposedly the business people. Like, I feel like that hustle is natural. I found online communities, girls who were obsessed with beauty in a way that I was obsessed with beauty. I started to share videos. I just loved making content, and it was starting to earn me money. And then I made the jump. Hello, I am Patricia Bright, and this is Vogue Visionaries. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that I'll be doing something with Vogue. Do I feel like I'm successful? I've achieved this. I'll get the cover of a magazine. I'll get this great deal. And it's like, I'm like, but it's not enough. I was thinking about the fact that I have some other really big projects and deals that I'm working on that put me more in the position of being like a founder, like in the tech space, entrepreneur space. And I really feel like a bit scared, like, can I be in this position because I've been a YouTuber?
Yeah, it's kind of like evolution, isn't it, as a person?
You are really good with the words, babes. Wow. Evolution. I'm on my own journey towards changing my definition of success and looking at what that means to me, and I'm working on my own personal projects. So speaking to Michelle today would be really cool. She's queen of reinvention. She's done a lot of different things. She's had a lot of careers. I'm trying to have a lot of careers as well. Michelle Visage is an American DJ, pop star, and television host. Today, Michelle is perhaps best known for RuPaul's Drag Race, where she's an outspoken judge. It'll be good to know from Michelle, like, what her motivations are, what drives her, how do you manage that success? High tea London style.
I know, it's my favorite thing on earth. Hold your cup.
I like an Earl Grey.
That's my favorite.
Do you like an Earl Grey?
It's my favorite.
Really? Yeah.
Decaf Earl Grey.
Okay, good. I love it, okay. So, as a woman in the industries that you've been in, like, how did you handle it? Are there any points that have been, like, particularly difficult?
Girlfriend, yes.
Okay.
I have a vagina. We are in a man's world.
Yeah.
There is no way around it. Women have to look out for ourselves. I've always been a grafter. I've always been a survivor. Rue calls me the world's biggest hustler. I will always land on my feet.
Yeah.
Always. But you have to trust and believe that.
I can hear the strength in you. I can see that energy. Did your upbringing have an impact on that?
I was adopted when I was 4 months old. We didn't have money, but my mother was a really good Brooklyn Jewish woman who was like, listen, I'm a sewing teacher. I'll teach you how to sew. I'll bake for you. Tell me what you want if you give my daughter singing lessons. And when I graduated high school, I went to uni in New York City, and my parents took a second mortgage out on their house and put me into college. I knew that I wanted more than what I had growing up.
Okay. I love this honesty. I think
Oh, no,
some
it's
people
fully
won't
honest.
say that.
I am not a showy person. I would rather have 5 bags of cheap clothing than 1 Chanel purse. Sorry.
Oh, okay,
I'm
right.
that girl. Because I like to change. I like to dress up. I like to wear fun things, and I like to be flashy and showy. And that's why when you call somebody tacky, to me is a compliment. I don't find tacky offensive. When people say to me, I look like a drag queen, I say, thank you.
Yeah. Let's talk about the drag scene. How did you get into that scene? What was New York like at the time?
First club I went to was a club called The Underground. And it was like 30, 40 of the freakiest looking misfits I'd ever seen in my life. I had this weird feeling that I was home.
Oh,
And I had found my people. And that night I saw them voguing. And I was like, what is that? And how do I learn how to do it?
Right.
And I was taught by the greatest Vogue teachers and dancers in the history of the dance. I vogued the night Madonna was at the ball where she saw voguing for the first time. Walk and let me see you. Patricia! Patricia!
Okay.
You need to put some swagger in that
I'm gonna-
walk. Yes! Pose. Another pose. Then we get ready to turn around. That's right. Yes! Pose. Do another little pose. Turn. And hit it.
You are successful, you've worked so much. Are you the main breadwinner at home?
My husband and I kind of switch roles because he's the stay-at-home dad and I'm the breadwinner.
Yeah.
And this is a traditionally, stupidly male role. And I hate that I even have to say the roles were switched, because who decided that the women were going to stay home and have babies and can't work and the men are going to go out and make the money?
Did that ever cause any tension at home?
100%.
Okay, how?
Of course.
Yeah.
Because of toxic male-dominated society that shouldn't even exist, that stuff was thrown onto us.
There's aspects of me feeling like sometimes I'm missing out. I'm shooting.
Correct.
And I'm feeling maybe a bit like, a little bit jealous that my husband gets to be at home with the girls sometimes.
Yep.
Did you ever feel that?
Yeah, and I feel like jealousy is healthy. You can't guilt yourself into knowing that you have to get out and work and pay the bills. You can be jealous a little bit, but I don't want you to feel guilt.
Okay.
And I think a lot of women harbor a lot of guilt.
You've been so successful. You've done a lot and you seem really strong, but what's your just one thing?
I think the most important thing is to stop right now comparing yourself to others. It's the most dangerous thing you can do. In life, if we spend our time looking in the rearview mirror when we're driving, we're going to crash.
Yeah.
You need to focus on what's ahead, not what's behind you. So stop comparing yourself to others and find your truth with who you are, what you want, and stop choosing fear.
Michelle was amazing. Her just one thing about not comparing yourself is so powerful. And I love that she really tied that in towards women being supportive of each other, particularly in a man's world where, we don't always have the upper hand. It's a great reminder for me to keep doing that. Today, I'm doing a shoot because it's time to update my brand a little bit. It's pretty scary to me that even after everything that I've done, I don't feel successful. And it makes you think that you may never hit this definition of successful unless you enjoy the process. I'm really comfortable with these. Yeah. Love them, love them, love them. Okay. I want to try and enjoy the process of getting to wherever it is that I am without feeling like I'm failing. Today, we're here in East London and I'm about to meet up with supermodel Leomie Anderson. Leomie Anderson is a model, social activist, and founder of a successful fashion brand. She's a Victoria's Secret model, and I'm lucky enough to call her a friend. The modeling industry looks so glamorous from the outside. I want to talk money with her. What does it pay to be on the runway? What does it pay to be on a billboard? I want to know what it's like going from the runway to the boardroom. So we haven't caught up in such a long time, and I know so much has happened. And I wanted to talk about your journey, as a model. What was it like when you were 14 years old and first scouted?
Mate, honestly, when I very first got signed, I wouldn't even tell people that I was a model because I just didn't believe it. As soon as you say that you're a model, people think you're living this amazing lifestyle, you're living a high life, you're getting paid, all of this sort of stuff. I'm like, nah, I'm living in roach-infested model apartments.
Oh my gosh.
I'm in minus money, actually. Minus.
How did you get into minus money?
Basically, every model is a minus in the beginning because nothing is for free. If they do a test shoot, you think it's free. No, it's not free. The money is just piling up and you have kind of a debt in a way with your agency. And then as soon as you start making money, then they'll take, you know, the debts away from what you start earning. So even when you first start earning initially, that money's going straight to your agency.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really scary. What kind of money did you get for like walking your first show? What did those numbers look like?
What numbers? What numbers?
What do you mean, what numbers?
I didn't see no money. From probably my first 3 show seasons, you don't get anything. I'm not even joking.
You don't get paid to walk the show?
No.
You walk for free?
Basically.
As a
or
child?
Whatever money.
This is called child labour.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. Or they'll pay you in clothes. That used to be like the classic one. But when they say they're gonna pay you in clothes, they're not even paying you with the clothes that you'd want. I'm talking about the stuff that would be on sale, on the sale rack or whatever. Then maybe you can pick one of those things. And I'm like, what am I doing with this giant bag? My suitcase is already overweight. So now I'm even paying for my suitcase that's overweight and I haven't even been paid.
How nice is it to have your feet done? Yours looks stunning.
I love it.
I love the colour. I went for a crazy colour.
Look at my big toe popping. Sorry. Nice, smooth.
Smooth.
Oh, love it.
Okay, let's cheers. Amazing. So I'd love to hear your just one thing. Let me know.
So my just one thing is use your industry. Don't let your industry use you.
Oh, wow.
I feel like in creative fields, people make it feel like you should just be grateful that you're even being accepted into the industry, especially as a Black woman. And I'm like, that's all well and great and everything, but no. Go into this space and figure out how you can make it work for you. So if you have any passions outside of your field, make sure that people know about that. Don't keep it a secret, because that passion of yours that you keep to yourself might be the key to you finding your purpose in a field that actually makes you feel fulfilled.
What is that for you then?
For me, it's definitely lap. Like, my clothing brand is something that I wake up every day and think, how can I make it better? How can I push myself? What can I do? Who can I bring in? What questions can I ask? Whatever the case may be.
So if you don't mind me asking, like, what does a yearly salary for Leomie Anderson supermodel look like now?
Well, before I had my contract, I feel like I was happy even earning just like upwards of 100,000. But then when I got my contract with Victoria's Secret, I had my contract with Puma, which I'm so thankful for. So last year was one of my most successful years, where I earned like more than £500,000 or upwards of £500,000 pounds.
Is it hard to talk about money as a woman in this space? Did other models talk about those kind of things?
You want to know what? When it comes to money, it's so much, or how much you're going to get paid, it's really down to having the right team who really believe in your value. And as a Black woman, I really do feel that the industry just has a lower, they just see us as less valuable, which to me doesn't make any sense, because in any other industry, if you're a rare asset, you should technically be paid more.
Were you ever worried about, oh no, this career could come to an end at any point in time?
Nah, Black don't crack, ain't it? I want to be one of those 60-year-olds who's just like on set, like, yeah, girls, I remember when I was your age.
Okay.
I'm happy. I want to definitely have modelling in my life for as long as I can.
Do you feel successful?
As a model, do I think that I've had success? Yes. Do I think I've done great things? Yes. But would I say that I've like conquered modelling? No, I wouldn't say I've conquered it, but I'm okay with that, because through modelling, I've now moved into other areas that I feel like 100% I can conquer.
Leomie's just one thing was use your industry, don't let your industry use you. And I thought that was super powerful. You kind of have to be empowered by your career and then almost take control, because I think a lot of us just think that our work, our job, our career is happening to us, and that it also is meant to work for us. It was so good that Leomie felt comfortable to talk about her salary. And I think it's important that we as women have these conversations, be inspired, be honest, be confident about the fact that, yep, We're here, we're making a living, and we want to make money, and we want to have big, successful careers. I'm not afraid to talk about money. What drives me to make more money is the desire to never be broke, because I've experienced being broke.
Look how much we've achieved in the space of 1 year.
I know,
like, it's crazy.
I know. I always want more, but I think I'm learning that for me, I don't think there's a goal. There's like a number. It's like once I've made 10 million, I'm successful.
Yeah, I'm happy because it makes me feel like, okay, what are we going to achieve in the next year, 2, 3, 5?
No, we'll be selling by year 5. Year 5, we'll be millionaires.
My Chanel and our Aston Martins.
I still want a Lamborghini.
What for?
I just want a Lamborghini.
Are you in Miami?
I want like a truck like Lamborghini.
You are not in Miami.
The goal is like a yacht, an island, the perfect body. Okay, that's an unrealistic dream, but you can work towards something like that. Today, I'm meeting Nicola Coughlan, and I cannot wait. Irish actress Nicola Coughlan burst onto our screens in the BAFTA-nominated comedy drama Derry Girls and stars in one of the most streamed series of all time, Bridgerton. The acting industry can be pretty brutal. I think you need to be like made out of stone and really be pretty confident in your own ability. So I would love to see how she's navigated that space. Nicola, it's amazing to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for having me and bringing me to North London. Although obviously you're not originally from here,
are you? I'm not originally from here, no. I am from Galway, West of Ireland. Right in the Atlantic, lots and lots of rain, but very beautiful.
More rain than here?
Much more rain than here.
Really? So was that one of the reasons why you made your move? Or could you
So the tropical climate in London,
yeah, exactly.
I've lived in London 10 years, actually.
Right,
Moved in 2011.
Did you have anything secure, like a job or
I had a job.
role?
I worked in, well, not an acting job.
Okay,
that didn't happen for quite a while. I worked in a shop in Covent Garden.
Okay.
I worked in Snog, the frozen yogurt shop.
Yeah, yeah.
I worked in a restaurant. That was pretty much my whole 20s, to be honest with you.
It probably gave you a bit of balance as well.
Totally.
Like you had the real life experience and then kind of maybe appreciate the job roles that you did get a bit more?
Yeah, and I think you just treat people with respect. And I mean, retail can be just hellish.
So you came down, you wanted to come to drama school here. You were working as well.
I'd finished drama school, so I did Oxford and then Birmingham. Then came down to like try and make it happen as an actor.
Okay.
And it so didn't happen for me at all.
Okay, and then you moved back.
I moved back home, yeah. Because also financially it's crippling. I mean, I think if you've ever lived in London on minimum wage, it's not fun. You know, no situation is a bad situation when you learn something from it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go back and change anything. Even though they were very tough times, I think I really learned a lot from it.
Yeah.
When's the last time you were at the pub?
A very long time.
Okay, that's not acceptable. I am just the girl that's going to bring you back into pub life. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready for it.
Okay, let's go. This is like a home away from home. It's my favourite Irish pub.
Great, I love it.
Come in. Not bad for a first attempt. We'll do an air cheers, but we don't say cheers, we say sláinte.
Sláinte. That's delicious.
And also you're named after the patron saint of Ireland.
Oh yeah, Patricia.
Patricia,
right?
so Saint Patricia, and you like Guinness, so you're pretty much Irish now.
Nigeria meets Ireland.
Yeah, sláinte
Cheers.
again.
Cheers. Oh, sláinte.
Sláinte.
Your industry has a lot of rejection. How have you handled it?
When you've had a lot of rejections, you go, am I kidding myself here?
Right,
Is this gonna happen? Is this like, or am I just really barking up the wrong tree? And annoyingly, there isn't really an answer to that because I just had a really lucky break.
What would you say are the pros of your success?
There's been so many pros to all of this. I'm so aware of how grateful I am. I think that one of the things is how much I've been able to share the experience with friends and family and like bringing them to like when Derry Girls had a premiere, or they love like cutting out the articles in the newspaper and all that stuff.
And what about all the parties and the glamorous events as well?
I always say to people the most fun ones are the ones that are not televised, because no one has to.
Okay.
At the BAFTAs, you have to be very well behaved and sit and clap and whatever. But then at the ones where there's no cameras, it's like a uni disco. It's really fun.
Really?
Yeah. It's really fun.
Who's the most famous person you've met?
Well, I was at, my friend Jonathan hosted the Elton John Oscar party, so I got a tag along. I couldn't say hello to anyone. I was like, I don't want to bother them. But like Donatella Versace was there, and Elton John obviously was there. That was really fun. And it was me and like my school friend Ruth were at that, and we were like, this is hilarious.
And then anything that you found difficult?
Criticism in the press is hard. Derry Girls was nominated for a BAFTA, and that was the moment I dreamed of my whole life, and to be there was so exciting. And then someone sent me a tweet being like, can't believe what this paper said about you. And I was like, what did they say? And they sort of slated my dress and said it was unflattering. And I was like, do you know what, that just sucks. Because, you know, I know how long it took me to get to the BAFTAs, and for them to reduce that to your dress looks rubbish. Just think, come on.
Yeah. What would you say your just one thing is, like, that I can take away from meeting you today?
Just one thing that I would tell you is, if you can, always try and live in a place of gratitude. It can be a tiny thing. It can be like, this one cup of coffee was a really great coffee today, and it's just picked me up and made me feel good. It can be as silly as that, but if you give yourself, allow yourself a moment of joy, you know?
For sure.
Because life is short and we deserve to enjoy it.
Gratitude has to be a thing for me. It's a really good reminder, because even as Nicola said that, it's like, actually, I know what to be grateful for on a daily basis, and if I focused more on those things, I probably think I'd have better days. Hello. Hey, babe, how are you?
Fine, how's it going?
I've had a great day, actually. We talked about gratitude and to live in the moment a bit more, and I thought that was just what I needed to hear.
So it's just like everyday things, the birds chirping,
Exactly.
sun shining.
The smell of the coffee, the breakfast in bed I get sometimes.
Oh yeah, because I always do that, don't I?
Well, if you did that more, I'd be able to be more grateful, right? Meeting these successful women has energized me. Their advice has made me realize that I shouldn't be afraid to talk about my successes or my failures. I'm learning that every experience I have will make me stronger and bolder and bring me closer to achieving my goals. Women shouldn't be afraid to talk about money or being ambitious and successful, and I want to help make that happen.
Here you go, sweetheart.
Oh,
Nice tea for you.
thank you. Although I did think it was going to be breakfast in bed.
Oh, did you? Full English.
Full English. Ooh.
Okay. Just give me about 2 hours.
I promise I'll be grateful.